is up, everybody? My name is Dr. Mongoose, and I'm not a doctor, but I play one on the internet, bringing you today, Yay or Nay, Episode 6 on the competitive viability of Ignition. Now, this is going to be the first of two videos talking about the competitive viability of the new DLC maps. And this one, since it's a little shorter, it's only about 8 minutes or so long, I'm going to spend the time just talking about the map in general and why I think it works and some of the important points about it. And I'll touch more on the issues surrounding putting DLC maps in rotation, probably in my next video, which will be on Bayview. Expect that in the next couple days after this one. So, starting things off, why Ignition works so well for competitive is, first, it has history. And that history being, it's a Scrapyard remake. Scrapyard was one of the best competitive maps in Modern Warfare 2, and I believe it was on the circuit for every game type. And I cannot remember for the life of me what the game types for Modern Warfare 2 were. Sorry if there's a little background noise. There's some people banging around in the hallway outside my apartment, but I know that I certainly know that Search played on it, and I think Demolition was one of the game types. But if you go back and if you watch Modern Warfare 2 competitive, even if necessarily the game isn't super competitive, the map itself plays very well and works very well. So it has history going for it, and generally when a map has history behind it, you're going to end up with a pretty good experience. So you can look at Heretic in Halo 3, Warlock in Halo 2, which was a remake of Wizard. So for the most part, map remakes do work pretty well. The only one of recent memory that I can think of is in Halo Reach when they remade Prisoner into Penance, and that just did not work because you needed Halo 1 speed to make Penance work. But I'm getting beyond my point here. If you just watch the gameplay, it flows very well for Domination, and that's important because Domination is one of the game types in competitive Ghosts. So we already have evidence of it working out pretty well right here and now. Secondly, the second point, which is very important, especially to competitive play, it is a 3-lane map. There's really only 2 3-lane maps in competitive play right now, and that's Warhawk and Sovereign. Sovereign, it's arguable that it's a 3-lane map because it still has so many different ways you can flank around, and Warhawk's really only good for search, at least in my opinion. I don't really like Blitz on that map, again, because there's so many ways you can flank around. It's not really a true 3-lane map. But if we're just going off how the maps look and work, they are, I suppose, 3-lane maps. But what we need is 3-lane maps, and we need smaller maps. And Ignition is a pretty small map by Ghost standards. I mean, it's not a tiny map, like it's no, maybe Slums or Raid or something, but as far as Ghost maps goes, and Ghost maps are huge, it's a good small map where a lot of you can get a lot of good player movement, and it's going to allow for a lot. You're going to be able to get back to kind of that attack and defend mentality and that attack and defend gameplay that works so well in Ghost. Like you can't just in Black Ops 2. In Black Ops 2, you couldn't just bum rush something and get away with it. And Ghost, you kind of can. I mean, if you throw enough bodies on a hill point in competitive play, eventually you'll take it. If you throw enough bodies at the Blitz goal, eventually you'll take it. I've played Blitz on this map, I've played Dom on this map, and I have not yet played Search on this map, but it's a map that works very well for those two game types. I mean, even with how janky of a game that Blitz can be, it works well because the points are placed as such where they're easily defendable by one person, which is very necessary for any sort of CTF or CTF style based game mode. Third, and very important, is that it's a well balanced map color wise. And you might ask yourself, well, why is this such a big deal? All of the Ghost maps, and this is an issue with Infinity Ward Call of Duties, in and of themselves, all of the Ghost maps are very dark. They're very monochromatic. The character models blend in very easily. It's not the easiest thing to see where certain characters are. It's hard to pick out specific details, and it's a reason that the tracker site and the thermal site are so very popular, because it'll help light people up on very dark, very grungy, very hard to see maps. Ignition, Scrapyard, whatever you want to call it, is a very well balanced map color wise. The light areas are light, the dark areas are not too dark. It's mostly flat colors, flat neutral colors. You have whites, you have whites, or you have light grays, or beiges, and that allows the very darker character models to stand out against it allows the dark character models to stand out against these very neutral backdrops. And what's great about it is that, Sovereign, for example, if you take Sovereign, for example, it's a fairly colorful map. It's, color coded. There's bits and pieces of it that are very easy to see. But, excuse me there for a second, had a burp. But it's very, very bright, to the point where, like, thermal sights and tracker sights would almost get bloomed out, making them a little bit more difficult to use. With Ignition, with Scrapyard, you have a very well balanced map color wise for the game. Nothing's too monochromatic. The colors pop in just the right way, and you're not going to have as much trouble seeing the characters, seeing the enemy team and your own teammates running around, which can be a big problem both in competitive because you have friendly fire on, and I can't tell you the number of times that I've almost killed someone in a thermal sight because I didn't see their name in time. So overall, these three things are my major reasons for why Ignition works so well as a competitive map in Ghosts. The tunnel underneath, while it does allow for some flank routes, it doesn't break the map as far as flanking goes. You can't get from one side of the map to the other unseen. It won't drop you out immediately on top of like a goal or a flag point. So it's balanced in the sense that it's the perfect kind of flank route. It's the perfect kind of movement route. You can move. It gives you an option for movement, but it doesn't give you complete power over the map, which is an issue with some of the Ghosts. With some other maps in Ghosts, where one route or like one flank will give you power over the entire map, thus breaking the map. Well, guys, that kind of wraps it up for me on this game. Hopefully you enjoyed the commentary. Please leave your comments, your suggestions, whether you agree with me, whether you disagree with me. Since it is a yay or nay, I give Ignition a very heartfelt, very big yay for putting it into the competitive lineup. Whether or not that actually happens, well, that remains to be seen, but please leave your comments if you agree with me. If you disagree, please let me know what you guys think. As always, my name is Dr. Mongoose, and remember to watch 2 of my videos and call me in the morning. You guys all have a very nice day.